Well, hey, everybody. Hey there. It is the Remodelers on the Rise show, August 5th edition. Hope you guys are doing well. The title of today's show said a smorgasbord of topics. Smorgasbord of topics, which means we're not just going to talk about one theme. We're going to kind of bounce around to a variety of topics. The commonality between these topics is they all are around the concept of how to help you be a better remodeler. How do you manage your team better? How do you sell and market better? How do you understand your financials better? And by golly, there's also some things that are pleasantly also relevant for your personal life. I was going through my stack of hats and I pulled out a Mactown construction hat. Hi there, Tony, Cassie, thank you for that hat. I do love getting swag. It turns out that if I just make a direct appeal and say, I love getting swag in the mail, and if you go to remodelyourmarketing.com, you can see my business address. When I say that, I usually end up seeing a box within the next week. I'd love for you, if you're listening to this, to send me some swag. I might even wear it on the Remodelers on the Rise live show. All right, let's get into the old content. The first thing that I wanted to share about is related to action steps and deadlines. Action steps and deadlines. I haven't had a chance to look closely at it, but I'm about to pull up the email. This is from a client of mine down in the St. Louis area. Hi, Paul. Hi, Dave. And we had a meeting this morning. They need to recruit. They've been trying some things related to recruiting. And you know what you need sometimes? A kick in the fanny. Some motivation, you know what to do, you need to do it. And one of the best ways to get that going is to create specific action steps. And those action steps need to be smart. Hopefully we're back now. I hope that wasn't muted for too long. Okay, we're back. Hang on one second. Honey, hey, I'm on the Remodelers on the Rise live show, but I saw you calling. Say hi to the people.
Are you talking to me while you're on? Oh, I don't want to do that. Could you just answer my talk?
I'm on a live show, sorry.
Okay, well, I just wanted to know what the kids get when they eat Jimmy John's.
Oh, why don't we just tell you?
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to know what it was called.
Love you, bye.
Hi.
There we go. Hey, if the wife calls, you ought to answer. Did anybody get a kick out of that? Okay, you're back now. Okay, we're starting off a little fun and rocky. All right, so action steps and deadlines. When you are able to set a goal that says so-and-so specifically, so I'll read a specific one. Paul to call so-and-so to ask about having an interview by 8/6 at 5 o'clock p.m. So Friday in this case at 5 o'clock p.m. When you have something specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound, it moves the needle. And what's been interesting, a theme this week in my coaching calls has very much been around, I need more accountability. Kyle, lean into accountability with us. We need you to hold our feet to the fire. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, that's a good part of coaching, is getting you to take action on things you already know you need to do. But the reason that it's been a bit of a theme this week is because you're busy. Everybody's busy. And when we're busy, it is even harder to move the needle on the things you want to work on the business. So this is just a reminder that you need more specific action steps. Give your team specific action steps and work to create those and figure out a way to have some accountability as well. So that is the first item on today's show, is some accountability through action steps and deadlines. Deadlines are your friend. You need more deadlines in your remodeling business and commitments of dates. When you say, I will get back to you next week, you are going to miss the mark on that more often than when you say, let's schedule a meeting for next Tuesday at 3 o'clock and I will have that done and prepared for that meeting. You will accomplish that much more often. what I just mentioned there at the end is self-imposed deadlines. Sorry for answering that call from my wife, but I thought it would be good for humor points. Next one up. This one says, I need you to do fill in the blank more consistently. Let's say you're talking to a project manager, your designer, your office manager. Let's get real specific. Let's say you're talking to your project manager. I need you to do your daily logs more consistently. This is a thing that some of you are nodding, going, oh yeah, we got that problem. Okay. Whatever you want to do is fill in that blank. That is the what. That is the what you need one of your team members to do. Now, here's what good managers do. They dig into an itch and remind, not so much on the what, although we do that from time to time, but they really dig into the why. If you want your team to take more consistent ownership or consistent action on something that's important in your business, you have to keep reminding them of the why. Using that example I just gave, I need you to consistently every day do your daily logs, let's say in Builder Trend or Co-Construct. Why? Why is that so important? Well, you have that, by the way, you have the person that you're asking to do it answer the why question, make them engage in it and think about it. Because if you don't get into the why, then it turns into, well, I'm just really busy and I haven't had a chance to do it. But when you lean into the why and realize the client is able to see an update and see the activity. Me as the owner or your manager, or whoever it is, the whole team is able to see what went on that day. And it saves us so much time and hassle because I don't have to call and ask. I can just log in at my convenience, sometimes as the owner in the evening, and I can see what went on and I can see some photos. It helps us see things before they're bigger problems. Helps you manage projects as a why. Why is that important? Because 6 months from now, when they had a leak in that tile work that you did, and you actually have progress photos and you can show that, no, we did it right and this was done properly, that is a wonderful resource to have. But if you're not doing your daily logs, you don't see that. There are always a lot of why reasons behind getting your team to do something consistently. And as a good leader, as a good manager of your remodeling business, lean more into the why. Now, if you have something that you're asking people to do, and when you really brainstorm and think about why you're doing it, and there's not a lot of good reasons why, sometimes it is a really good idea to stop doing things. You know what? Now that we really analyze that, it's not really helping it. It's not really worth the effort of that. Okay, so that's a little bit of a management reminder there. Smorgasbord of topics, a variety of topics. The next one up is the Canvas app. I was talking to Stacy and Sean down in Artisan down in beautiful Southern Florida, and they said, oh, the Canvas app is wonderful. We love it. Sean's a little quieter, but Stacy was very animated about it. It saved us time. It is amazing. It gets into the details. It shows this and that. Canvas. It is a way to scan a room and it spits out all of the measurements. It does the as-built. It allows you to send it to them, and for a little bit of a cost, it will transform it into an AutoCAD or a 2020 or Chief Architect file. It is a wonderful tool. There's probably 8, 10, 12, 14 clients of mine that have been using it. People on the Remodelers community Facebook group have been using it. Look into that. Okay. By the way, remodelerscommunity.com. Some of you are listening to this in podcast form and you're not part of that Facebook group. It is free and it is wonderful. Next item I have for you on today's Remodelers on the Rise show is a reminder that the final 5% on a project is the most important part of the project. It is how they're going to remember you. It is going to be the final, feeling that they're left with. And it is arguably one of the hardest parts of the process. Bailey, if you would be so kind for the people that are watching this live to put in the comments a link to the webinar we did related to the final 5%, or feel free to reach out to Bailey at remodelyourmarketing.com and she will send you a link. But I did a webinar related to this and shared some different ideas. Couple thoughts related to it. One is sometimes it just is increasing the level of intensity to just remember, okay, we're in that final 5%. One of the examples that I gave during the webinar is how football teams hold up this. They hold up 4 fingers. It's the fourth quarter. Why do they do that? Why do football teams do that? It's because it's time to elevate the intensity. It's time to, okay, we're either going to win this or lose this. It is time to get focused. That same thought process should happen in your remodeling business. If you go down to Rainy Blair down in Atlanta, you look on their whiteboard, what you'll see next to a few of the project they have ongoing is it says fourth quarter next to several of them, because they took that analogy and they want to look at it and realize, those 3 projects are in the fourth quarter. And it reminds them that they got to really get focused and really finish strong, because the final 5% of the remodeling projects is the most important 5%. Bailey put the link in there. Okay, good. We're smorgasbording. We're hitting on a variety of topics. Does anybody have any topics or questions that they might have? Reminders that they would like to share with their remodeling peers today? If not, it's okay. I have plenty, but I'd love some interaction in the old comments. Maybe even click the like button. All right. The next one I have here, it says, do you need to schedule a regular team meeting? If so, why? Do you need to schedule a regular team meeting? If so, why? When we are busy, sometimes it is very, very wise to slow down and meet with your team. I'd love for somebody to debate me on this. Explain to me how when you are busy, you should have less team meetings. Go ahead. Explain how that's going to work. It'd be hard for somebody to convince me of that, because when there's more stuff going on, we need to meet to make sure we've got all of our ducks in a row and everything is planned and 5P'd. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So the question I'm just throwing out there to make you think about, because if you're listening to this, if you're watching this live or on the replay or on the podcast, the point of this show is to try to get you to think and engage and even better implement something you heard, even if you just grab one of the ideas I'm sharing. So I'm throwing this out there. Do you need to schedule a regular team meeting? Do you need to get back to doing that production meeting? Do you need a Monday morning huddle where you plan out your week or everybody's on the same page with things? Do you need, if you have a business partner, do you need to have a business partner meeting where the content and the agenda of the meeting pulls us out of the weeds into more of the on the business stuff? I was just talking about Sean and Stacy. They have the SNS partner meeting now because it was something they needed to spend some time and focus on so that they're better on the same page. They're working on some on the business things. They're setting themselves up with some action steps and some deadlines. It's working great for them. Okay. So that's a question and only you can answer it. But if also you see after that, do you need to schedule a regular team meeting? That's a yes or no question. But if so, why? Lean into that a little bit. Okay. Sorry, I got to add one more thing. Like a why could be, well, we're just not on the same page. We're starting projects and we're not as organized as we should be. We're not doing our production meetings, so we're not getting a really strong 2-week look ahead done. Get clear on the why, and then you're going to get even more confident on doing that team meeting consistently. Similar to the example and the feedback I gave earlier. Okay, good. Next one on this smorgasbord of topics, it says move up the moment of truth. Move up the moment of truth. What does that mean? What that means is, in particular, what's in my head is to get that budget range out on the table as you're chatting with a new prospect. That's the moment of truth. When we finally get talking about what are you looking to invest in your project, or based on my years of experience and projects that are similar in size and scope to yours, this project's going to range anywhere from $95,000 to $75,000. See what I did there? One, I gave a big range, which is important. Number two, I started with the higher number first. It's kind of a clever way to emphasize the higher number. Yes, I started with the higher number. That's because my experience has shown that by the time you start to make design and selection decisions, most of the time you're going to end up at the higher end of that range. But when I'm able to get that out of my mouth and in an educated way, because I've seen their space or I've seen photos and we've talked about what they're looking to get done, and I'm thinking about projects that we've done of some similar size and scope, that's the moment of truth. Right? And sometimes we kick that moment of truth way down the road and put in a lot of effort, time, and work and meetings. And then we finally get to the moment of truth and we've wasted a lot of time. And time is your most valuable asset. We have to protect it. Now, you can't always come up with a budget range, but you can certainly ask the question. You can certainly have a frank discussion about it. Move up the moment of truth. It helps you tremendously. Okay. By the way, I'll take a moment to tell you about this. September 20. Ooh, I have it in my head. Is it 29th and 30th? I'll lock this down. Hang on. I'll get this down here momentarily. Oh, what are we going to talk about? It is the 29th and 30th. In beautiful Ann Arbor, Michigan, yours truly is hosting a live and in-person event called Batting Practice for Professional Remodelers. If you go to that little link you're seeing right there, I bet you Bailey will put it in the comments too. remodelyourmarketing.com/batting-practice. You'll see all the details. It's going to be a blast. It's going to have a baseball theme to it. We're going to go through 9 innings. But what is really focused on is batting practice is what I call it. It's what I've done with my clients for years, where you're the client, you're the salesperson, somebody else is the client. And in particular, we're going to go through all these different aspects of the sales process. How do you overcome common objections you hear? How do you elegantly and professionally explain your process and sell them on the next step? How do we practice using pauses and the tone of our voice? How do we get really good at asking questions? How do we conduct that initial in-person meeting? How do we present our budget range? There's all these different elements and pieces of the sales process. The more you practice them, the more you hear others share how they approach it, phrasing they use, the stronger you get at it, the better you get at it. And the stronger and better and more confident and clear you get with all these important aspects of your sales process, the more success you have. The more you differentiate yourself, the more know, like, and trust you build, the more clarity you build into the sales process. And when homeowners are clear, it's more easy for them to move forward. And frankly, your closing percentage can go up. So I'm excited about it. We're going to dig into it for 2 days, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I sure hope you're going to join me. You can go to remodelyourmarketing.com/batting-practice, and you'll see the details. All right, cool. All right, more Smorgasbord. Wow, the engagement today. Sometimes I'm getting all kinds of comments. Boom, 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 boom. Our show on Tuesday, I had 6, 8, 9 different people. For some reason, the viewership today is a little lower than normal. I don't know if it's just the algorithm on the old Facebook or what, but I'd love for you to just click a like button or give a little comment. But it's okay. Either way, I'm going to keep going. All right. Another one in the smorgasbord of ideas is Loom, LOOM.com. Loom.com. Laurel Winkle with She Builds out on the West Coast in beautiful Oregon, however you say it. She was emailing me the other day saying, I'm going to tell you again, I love Loom. I'm using it constantly. I'm sending design revisions. It's helping me reduce my cycle time and keep projects and designs and development moving fast. I'm using it with my team. I'm using it to record training on how to add this new prospect to our CRM system. I'm using this training on how to set up our scheduling. There's just so many different ways she's using it. All it is something that records your screen, records your video if you click that button, and your voice. And when you're done making that recording of your screen share, you click a button and bam, you immediately have a link. You copy and paste that link and you're off and rolling. There's a variety of ways you can use it. And it's tremendously helpful. It's just Loom, LOOM.com. It's free, and it works really, really well. Okay. Let me hit you with a couple quick ones here. This one says, the smorgasbord of ideas. This one says exercise. This one says eat better. This one says read something. You already know those things. You know that if you're stressed and if you're busy and if you're not filling yourself with anything as far as new ideas or any kind of inspiration, so whether it's read something or watch something, make sure you're refilling your entrepreneurial tank and your leader tank with some new ideas. Those other two, eat better. If you eat like crap, you're going to feel like crap. It is fun. Here we go. It was fun last night to eat, how many? Three decent size, freshly made by my 13-year-old lovely Piper, Rice Krispie treats. There's a community garage sale going on at our house today. That's probably why my wife was like, how do I order Jimmy John's and have it delivered? It's a garage sale, community garage sale, and we're doing a garage sale. And she's making, one of her ideas was, I'm going to make Rice Krispie treats and sell them. And the inventory got kind of ransacked last night. She's selling them at 50 cents per, and I just handed her $1 after dinner last night, and I grabbed 2 of them. But I loved eating them. I did, but I kind of felt like crap after I ate 3 of them. So eat better. Certainly, all good things in moderation. And this last one, exercise. When we're moving our bodies, when we're taking our time to do that, we're more effective leaders. We have more energy. We feel better. We look better. All of that. So just that reminder. I mean, I'm a business coach for remodelers. I'm not a personal trainer. Obviously, you don't come to me for all of those different reasons. But guess what? This ties in with running an effective business. Exercise, eat better, read something. Maybe that's your takeaway from today. Okay. We have a few minutes left. I'm going to keep coming with them. I'm just going to keep coming with them. This one says, you're overestimating what you can get done in a day. Really work to identify the top 2 or 3 things, not the top 6 things. I need to hear this. You probably ought to hear this as well. We've got to be careful not to just make a list of too many things. We end up getting a few of them done, and then we kind of feel defeated because we only got a couple done, and we still got 5 left on there. Really work to identify the most important top 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 things. Remember Ken Simon, longtime client of mine with Premier Building here in Michigan. I don't know if he's still doing this, but he did it for a while where he said, here's my focus approach, and here's how I kind of prioritize my day. He gets an index card out. He looks at his schedule, he looks at his to-do, he identifies the top 3 things, and he writes them on an index card, and he carries it around with him all day. Every time he puts his hand in his pocket, he knows to look there. Every time he pulls his phone out, he kind of feels or sees it. It just reminds him of those top 3 things. That works for him. But the thought here is just identify fewer things to work on. And oftentimes we'll have more success achieving and having a stronger day. Okay. Another tip for you here, client communication reduces stress. I'm going to end with this one. We're going to end a few minutes early today. Client communication reduces stress. With materials, with delays, with difficulties with the labor side, you guys have a lot of not so great bad news that you have to share with your clients these days. There's lots of delays. There's lots of, I was hoping we could start here and we're going to start later. There's just a lot of challenges that we have and a lot of stress that we carry as part of that. Client communication reduces stress. Work hard to call and deliver bad and disappointing news consistently. Every time we actually get that done and make that call, you always feel better afterwards. But if you don't, it just can drive you nuts and kind of eat at you. Okay? So client communication reduces stress. Somebody just wrote in here, hi, Kyle. Well, hello, Facebook user. If you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, you click a little button and it gives the software permission to show your face. So whoever you are, hello. That is hello and goodbye. We're going to wrap up. Let me go through all the different things we just covered and just give a quick little recap. My goal would be for you to grab just one of these things and work to implement it. Talked about the importance of action steps and deadlines. SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. You need more SMART goals. Practice that. Work on that with yourself. Work on that with your team. Figure out how to get a little bit more accountability in your life and in your business. When you're busy, you need more specific action steps and accountability. Rattling through here. Don't just say you need to do this. Make sure you dig into the why. Talk about the Canvas app. CANVAS. It is a cool way to scan rooms. It saves you time in creating the initial as-built designs. It's just really cool. Reminder, the final 5% of the project is the most important. Make sure you're putting more focused attention and effort on finishing your project strong. Do you need to schedule a regular team meeting? If so, why? Think about that. And if you do, get that on the docket. Move up the moment of truth. Talk openly and honestly about budget ranges. Get that out there. It can help move the conversation forward and save you time. I didn't even click on a few of these. Wow, didn't click on a few of these. This one says serve. Don't look at that client as sale or money. Serve them. It's a mindset. It's a great mindset to have. Don't look at your prospects as, oh, there's another sale. Just go into that and serve them to the best of your ability. Care about them. Good things happen as a result of that. Man, I didn't click on a bunch of these. I'll end with this one. It says, get outside. Get outside. Do you need to take some time off? Do you need to schedule a half day off? Do you need to schedule next Friday off? It ain't going to happen unless you purposefully do it. Take some time off. Make sure you recharge. Okay. There was a bunch of ideas for you. I hope there was something in there that was helpful. Thank you for listening or watching or listening to the podcast. Reach out anytime and do look into that batting practice course that I have coming up. remodelyourmarketing.com/batting-practice. It's going to be a fun in-person live event in September. Talk to you all soon.